Well, as you can see, all my lofts are empty. No pigeons. Because they've all been moved into their new home. Here they are. Enjoying a lot more space, a lot more heat too. It's a lot warmer in here. Got all the racing homers, all the Birmingham Rollers. You like this much better? He says, put me down. Yeah. All the pigeons are in here. Let me do this one. This one will be easier to open. You're going to be able to come out into this now. Just got to reinforce it. Got to put a 2x2 going from the far end of the bottom part here to against the loft down there. Then they'll be able to be out in there. Got the new trap. It's going to have a piece of wood like this that I use for holding the door right here to make it door only stay open about, I don't know, that much or so. That way they can slip through here, but they can't fly back out. And of course, it's going to need a landing board. Pigeons don't fly through holes too well. But here they are. I still got some scrap wood. I've got all these pieces right here that I'm going to be using when I build the second half of the loft. But for now, they will all be quite content in here. I got, let's see, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, something like 18 pigeons in here, and there's 20 of these boxes, and they are good for about 2 pigeons each, which some of the older ones that are paired up, they will be 2 pigeons in each. And then they've got all this room up here. I'm going to put box perches with scrap wood, similar size to 2x4s going all along this wall right here, especially one right here. But here's Cinnamon. Got it. There's a white king. They're adjusting. But yep. So I think they'll be much happier in here. As soon as the roads thaw out, I will be putting some kind of something down, some kind of wood shavings. Not cedar. Cedar is really bad for them, especially without proper ventilation, which there's not a lot of ventilation in here. There can be with these open. I've got, evidently they're gonna try that out. Alright guys, come back out of there. It's not as strong as it needs to be yet. Come back in. Oh well, I'll get them in just a moment. Come on back in, guys. No. Well, I gotta get them out. Alright, I'm kind of realizing I'm gonna have to be a whole lot more careful with where I put my feet now that I've got them all in here where I walk around. Most of my pigeons are pretty nice. Especially, here's Spot. It's a real nice bird. Some of them, like Coco here, I raised from a baby, so he doesn't mind hanging out with me whatsoever. But now I've got their favorite thing in the world. Food. They love them some food. I've got a wooden covered trough that's covered so they can't poop in it that I feed them with, but right now the floor is still clean, so it's much easier to just throw it on the ground. Decide whether I want to take my coat off or not. It's not all that cold in here. Hello. Don't think my hand's big enough for all of you guys. Hand feeding your pigeons like this is a real good thing to do. It keeps them a lot tamer, gets them used to being around you, gets them to liking you. Of course, there's some pigeons in here that, even though they might come and eat from me now, they would not come anywhere near me if I did not have food in my hand. Some pigeons just aren't big on people, but most of them are. Hello there. This right here is Coco, and I raised him from a baby along with 4 other pigeons, one of which is no longer with me. And he eats a lot like a parrot that doesn't talk or climb on things. He just hangs out with me. He's my bud. He can't grip this coat very well, but he loves to sit on my shoulder. I don't have to have food for him to come sit on my shoulder. See, he's got real pretty wings. But, here you go. Hey. Of course, he's gonna do things the hard way. We got something like 19 or 18 pigeons in here. Lots of pigeons. This is a white king I've got. I named it Elvis, but it turned out to be a hen. Let's see now. Here's Coco, Elvis. This is Ash. This, let's see. There's Swift. This is Steve. That's April. That's Victoria. That's Cayenne. That's Hershey's. That's Cinnamon. That looks to be, that's Ricky. This is Juliana, I think. Yeah, that's Juliana. Here's Hinata. What's on her wing there? Well, I don't see it now. It looked like there was a little bit of something red on her wing. I was worried there was blood. One time I picked up a pigeon and it was covered in this red liquid, and I thought it was blood. I was worried it was bleeding out. Turned out it had flown into a pokeberry bush and was covered in the pokeberry juice. There's Spot right there. There's Hershey. I think I already said him. Who's this? Yeah, can't see your number. Well, it's one of my younger ones. I'm looking for one in particular. Here we go. This is Minnie. I raised her from a baby. I raised Coco from a baby. I raised, where is she? Swift from a baby, right there. And Ash. Where's Ash? There's Ash. Right there. I raised him from a baby. There's a couple of them that don't have names yet, but Hey Juliana. I found Juliana on Hanging Rock. I actually hiked up there with Coco, the one that was sitting on my shoulder earlier. There he is. With him on my shoulder, and she was at the top. Not her. Where is she? There's Juliana, right there. And she was at the top, and she had either hit a power line or a hawk had grabbed her and tore some of her flight feathers out. She could still fly, but not as well, and she didn't seem to want to, so I brought her back with me, and I was able to contact someone in the club that her previous owner was a part of, but never heard back on who she belonged to. But she's from the Baltimore Pigeon Club, so up there near Washington D.C. and probably a little bit further south than Washington D.C. So she flew a long way to get to Hanging Rock State Park. Actually, I'm sorry, she had a long way to fly. She got released near Charlotte, I think. So she had flown a ways, but not as far as she was going to. There's April. I don't know if I said her. They keep trying to fly into this light, like a moth to a flame. They'll figure it out, though. They'll figure out they can't fly into it. There's Elvis. I know some people who would absolutely hate being here with all these pigeons. And it's really even not that many. Hello. I feed pelleted food. Look at them go. Because it was a sex-linked breeding, I know that that is a hen. But she sure does act like a cock. She chases them around, or, well, she doesn't chase. She will smack and bite, and she'll bow and coo. Sometimes she'll even do a circle. Not over and over again like an actual cock will, but she's a pretty aggressive little hen. That's her dad. Her mom was carried off by a hawk about a month ago. So. I had a little mishap putting the water in the jugs. I brought 3 jugs in, not 2, but it turns out that the older one had seen better days. I banged them against the loft to break up the ice that was in them so I could dump the ice out, but in doing so I put a couple of holes in that old one, so I had to toss it out the door. I'll have to throw it away after I get down in here. But I'll make another one. That's why I use milk jugs. I don't even clean them out. I just make a new one. It's easier to do that. Came out here with my battery fully charged, and now it's got 1 bar. It is cold out. It's a lot warmer in here though. Still cold, but not like it is outside.